all-encompassing.
Right. So really quickly, a natural or biological variation that exists in a human, you were going to call that a mental illness or disorder?
Say that one more time.
A natural or biological variation that exists in humans, are you going to call that a mental disorder?
It's definitely a variation, but it's not natural.
It's not natural, he says. Okay, so then define natural for me. Define natural for me.
I'm not going into defining natural because a lot of the time LGBTQ people always change definitions and then always have wordplay or go into a case of semantics when it comes to that word. So I'm not defining natural.
Okay, sure. So then would you say that something like unnatural is something that is caused or made or caused by humans? And would you call homosexuality caused or made by humans?
Yeah, homosexuality is made by humans, 100%.
Okay, so then again, that does not make sense and it does not logically follow because natural refers to anything existing in, formed by, or derived from nature rather than made or caused by humans, right? Homosexuality has existed as long as humans have existed because of how, natural it is and how, sometimes common it is to occur in humans.
Unalivened has existed for as long as humans existed.
We know that. Because those are made by humans.
Is that an immoral behavior or a moral behavior? Is that a natural behavior or an unnatural behavior?
When it comes to humans, of course, being like murdering somebody is not natural because again, that was caused by another human. So you can't really compare homosexuality to murder.
TikTok friendly. I wasn't comparing it to I wasn't comparing unaliving to homosexuality. I was comparing a natural behavior.
Okay, so again, when you unalive somebody, that event is again made and caused by humans. When it comes to being homo, can you let me finish talking? Because you've been cutting me off the entire time, and I've let you speak.
And I can do that.
So you can cut me off as soon as you realize that you're losing. Okay, yes, go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I have the power. I am the chosen one.
Yeah, we know you're losing. Go ahead. Just go ahead, talk.
Are you homosexual?
Yes, I am.
Okay. When did you know you was homosexual?
When I was 7.
So before you were 7, you were straight?
No.
So you were, what was you?
I had no idea.
You was kind of neutral. You didn't know. So the first ever attraction you felt was towards a man?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Is there something wrong with that? Is that you have food in your fridge? You have food in your fridge if I'm attracted to another man, right?
No, I just think that through... How old are you, by the way?
I'm 19.
Okay, maybe. I think, even at a 19-year-old, you grew up on Disney movies. And a lot of these movies and a lot of these, even if it's just not kids' movies, a lot of these movies and stuff that you was influenced in, a lot of them was heterosexual. Do you know what I'm saying? Heterosexual couples in movies, in on social media, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I understand what you're saying.
Sort of understanding like I did as a young man that, so if I want a family as a man, I would have to get with a woman. Oh, okay. So I got you. Oh, women are pretty. Oh, they like the snow night. Do you know what I'm saying? You come to some understanding about that. So I
understand what you're saying. And this logic is complete bullshit. Because again, your logic is completely going to fail when it comes to the actual laws of biology, physics, and nature, right? So just because a man is gay doesn't mean that he cannot produce any more semen or sperm. You understand that? Because straight people, oh my God, let me finish talking.
Semen or sperm come into my life.
Because you're talking about reproduction, and you mentioned it earlier. You're the one who brought it into your life.
I spoke about procreation, but
reproduction does involve sperm and egg. You said that, right?
Where are you going with? Where are you going with this?
I'm saying that when you want to talk about, if you want to make a family, you're going to have to be with another woman, right? You got to understand this, right? A man can be with another man and still have a family. Do you understand how that can happen?
Without your unionship with that another man, a woman has to come involved, or a woman's parts or her egg has to be involved?
Yeah, right. Or maybe adoption papers can be involved for starting a family.
Still, you're going outside of your relationship.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you're going outside of that relation, that unionship. You're going outside of it to get someone else who had a heterosexual relationship and getting one of their children. So you are going outside of it.
Okay, so then let me explain this to you, all right? A man is dating another man. They both decide that they want to raise a child. So they go to the adoption center and they raise a kid. How are they going out of their relationship?
Okay, let me see. What are you guys talking about as Israelites? What are you talking about?
Oh my God, he had to run from there. Why do you keep running from my arguments?
No. Save your question. I just noticed something.
Exactly.
It triggered me.
Right.
All right, tell me again that exact question. Say it again.
Okay, yeah. So a man is in a relationship with another man. They both decide that they want to raise a child, so they go to the adoption center and they adopt the child. How are the both of them going outside of their relationship?
Because that child is not the result of their relationship. That child is a result of...
That does not make sense.
That makes perfect sense. Stop it. You just don't.
Why are you getting mad?
You just don't have nothing to counter that. That makes perfect. Everybody in this life understood what I just said. You have a relationship with another man. You have to go outside of that and go and get a child which is a result of another relationship, a man and a woman.
Wow,
I guess don't know how you don't understand that.
Okay, so here's what I have that you don't. I have medical studies, common sense in education and biology, in education and health class, multiple, again, a bunch of medical studies in front of me, and you do not have jack shit. So you cannot prove anything to me. I can prove something to you. You just do not believe in science, but you want to blame that on other people. It's not my problem, it's yours. If you're uneducated, just say that.
Did you get your qualifications from God? No, you didn't.
My qualifications, no, because I'm not Christian. Christianity is honestly really illogical, in my opinion.
You got them from some institution that was probably funded to push homosexuality and to call
They've existed for hundreds of years. What are you talking about?
From some institution that was funded and persuaded to push homosexuality as something natural.
Okay, so I got it from PubMed Central, digitalcommons.edu, APA, WHO, AMA, Planned Parenthood, Boston University, and Harvard. So which one of those sources are trying to push homosexuality when those same sources didn't even have to push homosexuality? You were just born with the biological factors that cause you to be homosexual.
Listen, just like I said to Titan, and I've said this to many people that are in this homosexual lifestyle, bro.
Oh my God,
your lust overrides your moral compass. Your lust overrides who you genuinely are. I know you LGBTQ people like to say this is who I naturally am. But who you naturally are is who your parents raised you up to be. I guarantee.
That's still not natural. You do not know the definition of natural. You are so fucking dense. That is not the definition of natural.
I guarantee your parents do not agree with your lifestyle.
I told my parents, and they're the ones okay with me fucking cross-dressing. What are you talking about?
No, not really. Your dad's okay with you dressing like a woman.
That's okay. That's okay with my parents. That's okay.
Lies.
You want to talk to my mom? You want to give you my mom's phone number so you can talk it up with her?
Did I say your mom or did I say your dad?
You said both. You said parents, correct? My parents are my mom and dad.
I said your appearance first, but I
so then talk to my parents.
Is your dad okay with you cross-dressing?
Yes.
Liar.
What do you mean liar? You do not know what my parents are. This bitch is so stupid. You do not know my parents.
Step 2 on the LGBTQ handbook. First step was delusion. The second step was lies.
Name my parents. Name my parents right now. Name my parents.
I can tell you anything that will
name my parents.
Their argument.
Name my parents. Exactly, bitch. You don't know.
Julian, thank you for coming up. Your time has expired. Please let me up. Drea. Yeah, I want a girl. Drea. What? Are you a girl or are you a trans? Are you trans?
I'm whatever you want me to be.
No.
What makes you happy?
No, Drea.
Yes.
Are you a biological woman?
I'm whatever you want me to be. Are we going to get to the prompt? That's not the prompt.
That means you're trans because you're refusing. That was step one. That was step one.
Okay.
Delusion.
Right, sure.
Step one. Delusion.
Right, you got me. Ooh. Okay, can we get to the prompt? Are you ready?
Let's get to the prompt.
Great. I'm going to go at this at a different perspective because the way that you're talking, I just want to let you know how it looks from the panel because I was just cracking up this whole time.
I love this. How it looks on the panel. Like you
I tell, no, I know you don't. I know. Right? It's clear, right? You don't care at all. But again, when people mention studies, decades, centuries of studies, you don't care. You don't really.
You're a biological woman.
What does that? What does that have to do with anything? That's not what we're talking about.
I'm just gauging who I'm talking to. I want to. No. Drea. I want to know who I'm talking to.
Drop me or focus. Pick one. Because I'm getting bored. You want to focus on the prompt?
Who I'm talking to.
We're strangers.
I want to know if I'm
never know me.
Someone that is gay, someone that is
What does that matter?
Someone that identifies as a biological. It matters.
What does that matter?
It's part of the conversation that we're having.
No, it's not. We're speaking objectively, right? We're speaking about objective studies, objective sciences, right? We're not speaking about how we feel or our opinions or our identities, right? So again,
step 3 of the LGBTQ manual is unaccountability.
Right.
Unaccountability.
Yeah.
Step 1 is delusion. Step 2 is lies. Step 3 is unaccountability.
Got it. So smart. So smart. Anyway, such a genius.
Thank you.
So again, you're not listening to studies. You're not listening to history, science. I heard you say earlier you don't want to actually use the definitions of words. Right? I know when someone asked you what natural was, you didn't want to define it.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to define what natural is. No.
Yeah, I can tell. So you're not using definitions. You're not using science. You're not using studies.
I like definitions, but with that definition, a lot of
great. Are you sure you like definitions?
The LGBTQ like to take that out of context.
What do you take an objective definition out of context? It's an objective definition.
Take the word natural completely out of context.
So what is the context? What is it?
I'm not getting into it with you with that word.
Okay. So we're going to skip natural because I know you're scared of that word. Okay. We're going to skip that word.
Terrified.
How about, do you know what a biological variation is? What is that? Are you scared of that definition too? Or can you define it for me?
Oh,
you can Google it if you want.
Like an anomaly, like a biological variation. It's like, like how I don't know, like you could be a black family and then have maybe kind of like a light-skinned kid with different textured hair. It's an anomaly. It's a variation.
Right. And what all does that include,
But why are you asking me these questions? Is this a pop quiz? Or?
No, I want to make sure you understand because... Again, I just want you to see your own perspective here. Because I can tell you this. I could tell you the studies. I know you don't listen to science or. So what do you listen to?
Before you get into it, can I ask you: are you homosexual?
What does that matter?
It matters.
Why?
So I can see.
I'm asking you objective things, right?
Why
so the thing is,
trying to hide your ideology? Are you ashamed of it, Drea?
No, again, you want to speak from.
Drea, are you ashamed of your ideology and who you are and what you believe?
No.
Okay, can you please share it? What are you?
Then again, no, no, because that does not matter, and you can drop me if you think it does. I'm getting bored.
You knew you were going to get dropped. Drea, so anyway, first step, delusion. Second step is, now I'm forgetting this, lies. And then third step is unaccountability. This is going to be in my course when I open my institution for conversion therapy. All of this is gonna be in it. I'm gonna create a whole thesis on this because this is like, the more I talk to homosexual people, the more I kind of like I don't understand it, but I understand it. I go, oh, this is the mental illness. This is where it's coming from. This is where it stems from. Okay, all right. Give me a sec. I need to breathe, guys. I need to woosah. I need to just calm down. All right. I'm grounded. I am grounded. Let me bring on the next person. Yes, I am in England. I am based in London.
Yo.
Joanne?
Yeah. What's
Joanne, how do you say it?
Joanne.
Okay, nice. Thanks for coming up, Joanne. Talk to me. What do you think about the prompt?
Me personally, I don't think it needs to be a mental illness or disorder to be considered wrong. And I feel like I can agree that it's natural, but something being natural doesn't mean it's morally okay. Like, as a Christian, I believe we all have a fallen human nature, and because of that fallen human nature, we have inclinations, to do things that are not right, and I feel like that's just one of the things we have.
If it's natural, right? If you say it's natural,
Yeah.
and God created nature, God created order to things. And this is, you said it's because of sin, this has happened. So it's a disorder. It's a behavior which is out of the order in which God intended it.
Yeah.
Then it's not natural at all.
I mean natural insofar of the fallen nature that we have now. Like the nature that like Adam and Eve had before they sinned, right? They wouldn't have any feeling or possibility to have that to be gay or anything like that, right? They wouldn't have that attraction or anything. But after the fall, we became susceptible to things like that. So people can have those feelings now. So it would be natural after the fall.
So you're saying because there is sin, there is now homosexuality?
Basically.
I can
Because our
agree,
nature-
I can genuinely agree to that, but what we might not agree to is I think it's a sin where people can control. You might think I think it's a sin where people can have 100% control on what they act upon and then what they think.
Me personally, I kind of think it works the same way with
Shout out to the people that are saying W host, man. You're just making me kind of like, obviously I'm getting crucified by the LGBTQ, the alphabet community, and they're, you know what I'm saying, but you're just giving me hope. Just like up the live. Let's get this thing to 3K. I said 3K. All I see is 1.3. I want to get it to 3K. And yeah, carry on.
yeah. So I kind of think it's the same with straight people. We can't. When I was growing up, I didn't choose to be attracted to women. It just kind of happened, right? That's just who I developed to be, and I didn't choose it, right? I didn't have a choice. But
can I just stop you right there? All right. So, because when it comes, this comes up a lot, like in my chats when I talk about homosexuality, this comes up whether someone chose to be heterosexual or whether it was influence. Now, I say to be on point and to kind of understand, like, and to be truthful of how I grew up. One, I grew up in a single mother household, but within a single mother household, I knew that for me to come about, she had to get with a man. All right. So I realized, hold on, you got with my dad, and my dad, you got together and you had me. So naturally, I think, okay, so I want a kid in the future. I might want a kid in the future. For me to do that, I would have to get with a woman. So, okay, great. So the natural order of things, and I see that in the animal kingdom as well, it's a male and a female. So in order for me to have a baby or have a family or have a child, I would need to get with another woman. Now, naturally, like I see I'm talking like 3 and 4. I'm understanding this. I see it in shows, movies. I see it out on the streets when I see, couples that is male and female. So in terms of did it naturally happen? No, I was conditioned to be this way. I understood how things work in natural order, and I like that. I go, you know what? I like this order to things, and I went with it. So it didn't necessarily happen out of the blue. I don't want to say that conditioning is a wrong thing. I want to say I was socially aware to these things.
Yeah. And I personally, I agree that your environment can definitely influence your later attraction. But how I see it is, it's like, yeah, you wanted those things, right? You wanted to have a child in the future and stuff like that. But I mean, somebody that's of the LGBTQ can still want a child, but they can't do it. They can't get a child like the same way we can get a child, naturally.
That's more evidence to say that it is disorder. They have to go out of the natural order of things for them to get a child, or for them to, to get a child. They have to go outside of the natural way of things.
I feel like you should think of it this way, right? The way I think about it is we have 2 orders, right? We have the order, right? The structure of life given to us by God, right? And then we have the structure and order given to us by sin, right? So currently, we are in a world that's rampant with sin, right? So we're in the order of sin, right? So it wouldn't be unnatural to the order of sin, but it would be unnatural to God's order. So I would say you should look at it as if there is 2 orders, right? An order.
So do we go in the path or the direction of sin, or do we go in the path of what's righteous and what God intended?
Well, I mean, I would agree that we should go with what God intended, because all right, and we face, as people, as humans on this earth, in a world of sin, we, regardless if it's homosexuality, we face temptation every day. And as God's beings, as people of thought and consciousness, we have to make a decision whether we give into temptation or we don't give into temptation. Yeah, I'm saying people make a choice with homosexuality. People make a choice every day to give into this lifestyle and this temptation. And I fully agree that they give into the temptation. I just think the temptation that they have is an innate attraction from their nature, right? It's an innate attraction.
You're muting now.
You said what?
Go on.
Yeah, it's an innate attraction from their sinful nature, right? It's an inclination because of their nature. But I don't think their choice, people don't understand, your choice and your thoughts are different. Like a thought can, or an urge, right? You can have an urge, but it doesn't mean you have to act upon it. But I don't think gay people choose to have a gay urge. I think it just happens, right? And then if they choose to act upon that urge, that's where they sin. You can have an urge and ignore the urge and not sin, or you can have the urge and fall into it. Yeah,
exactly. So Joanne, so I was talking about with someone, I think yesterday, and it's like everything you do in life starts with your mind. Whether you want to create a business, whether you want to have children, whether you want to explore some sort of education, it starts with your mind. And the thought might come to you through something you watch, or it might come to you randomly. All right, you have the ability to grow that thought. To ponder on it. That's what the word ponder is. You're pondering, you're thinking mentally about something, and you're thinking about the process of it. Now, if a homosexual thought comes into your mind, you have the thought to ponder on it, grow it, to think of how you can act out this sin, or to completely reject it. And this is what happens, I think, in the homosexual mind. They ponder on it. They ponder on it. They think about it. They grow this thought into it. It manifests into an action, and then they go and commit homosexuality. Whereas straight people might even have a homosexual thought, but it's just like goes in and goes out.
Yeah, and I think it's the reason why, and I feel like it can happen in straight relationships too. Like, a person can feel the urge to get with a lady, right, outside of marriage, right, and they can be very like lustful for that lady, and that lady can be very lustful for them. But if it's not under a marriage, right, then they fall into sin. It's kind of just like the homosexual person. Like, you can't let lust control you, and I feel like that's what's wrong with the culture nowadays. Like, we're such hedonists, right? Like, we're just trying to fulfill our desires, and life isn't about fulfilling your desires. Life is about denying yourself and fulfilling the desires of Christ. All right, you know what I'm saying? Like, not what you want. It's very just narcissistic. It's all about like themselves. And if you don't accept them, then you're just weird. And I'm like, we don't have to accept sin. We don't need to accept something that isn't in the order of Christ. It's like, it's just narcissistic at the end of the day. It's just full of hedonism. They can't deny themselves. You know,
I feel that that's what this whole movement is, and because the movement is not a movement of quote unquote harming people, it's hidden by the cloak of love. It's saying that, hey, if you get in this society, we all love each other, no matter who you are, no matter what sodomite behavior you do. It's love, and it's hidden by, and that's the kind of veil they use, but actually behind this veil is unhealthy acts, unhealthy behaviors. It's mental illness. It's what's the word? What's the word when you're loyal and stuff like that? It's a bunch of lies. It's a bunch of delusions. Like, yeah,
I think you're right. I feel like it's both at the same time, in the sense that it's love to them. Like, they think it's love, right? But they named their whole movement Pride, and it really is focus. It is really grown from Pride, right? They believe in this thing so much, right? They've become so prideful about their sexuality that they can't deny it, right? So they try to put love in there as well, you know, to make it seem more appealing. But it's not love, it's just pride. It's just hedonism, like I said, you know what I'm saying? It's just not being able to deny yourself.
Right, and you know, if you tell them that to them, it's like it will just go in one ear and out the other. They are so.
Look at the comment. He said, "Y'all just jealous we get more action."
It's so like ingrained in their head that they are committing such a righteous act, or they are in something that's so, you know, true to them that it's gonna take a while, or they'll just never understand the truth.
Yeah, and I think the sad part is they don't realize, right? Because, you know, most people of their from their group, right? They're atheist, right? So they don't believe in a God. They don't believe in a higher power, right? Yet they preach morality and ethics, right and wrong. They use all these oughts, right? These oughts, and they don't realize you can't use these words if you can't base them in something, right? They live in a world full of just subjectivity, right? They can't really base their morals on anything other than I feel it's right and it may harm people, right? And then when you ask them, okay, why is harm itself wrong? Oh, because I don't like it. And I'm like, you can't base something in truth because you don't like it or it makes you feel bad, right? We have to be able to, like, this is where it goes into philosophy and stuff, but we have to have a certain epistemology, which is just how you know something is objectively true, right, for your position. And we can't just base it on feelings, right? For Christian,
I was gonna say, like, literally, this kind of goes into theology as well. You know, Jesus said, you know, before he died on the cross, he said that my people perish for the lack of knowledge. And it's almost like a lot of them haven't got the true knowledge. They seem to think that all of these articles and scientific studies are, you know, knowledge and morality and stuff like that. But they're just, you know, these institutions have been paid by corporate donors to push this sort of rhetoric and ideology. They don't know. So they perish for the lack of knowledge. And some of them do actually know. But because they are knowingly ignorant, they know the truth, but they still they want to still live and still do the things or do the behaviors of the ignorant ways.
and the funny thing is, now that you mention that, I've seen so many so-called ex-Christians, right? They were like, oh, talk to an ex-Christian, etc., right? And their whole thing is, well, you know, Christians are so hateful, they're not accepting of the LGBTQ, etc., right? And I'm like, and because, you know, most of them that are ex-Christians, they're part of the LGBTQ now, right? And I'm like, it's not that there's an issue with Christianity. The issue is that you couldn't handle your lust, right? You can't handle your lust. You tried to deny yourself. I'm not gonna lie. They tried for a time to deny themselves, you know, follow Christ in their own little read the Bible, yada yada stuff, right? And then they realize that it's a real battle, and they're like, you know what? Forget this. I don't want a life of me not giving in to myself.
Yeah,
you know,
that's like genuinely. I have a goal, and I want to open up like a neo conversion therapy. All right, and a lot of these points are going to be in it where it comes to lust, when it comes to denying kind of, you know, your morals, denying, you know, kind of just basic kind of instinct and humanity and procreation. Like, that is going to be one of the pillars of the reason why this homosexuality lifestyle exists is based on lust, not controlling your lust. And I'm not saying I'm a perfect person where I'm a heterosexual. I have issues controlling my lust. That's why I understand it. I get it. I have an issue sometimes controlling my lust with women. You know what I'm saying? Wanting to sleep with women. So that's why I understand. I get it. You have a lustful desire for men or for women, and you just want to just act upon it.
Yeah. So real quick, I'm hearing what you're saying. Is Petty Idol requesting?
Petty Idol. No, they won't. But I invite them to request if they want to come up.
Please, because they're talking, and I really want to see what they have to say.
Petty Idol, some of them, this is the thing as well, they are scared to come out. If they'll have strong opinions in the comments, but when it comes to,
request, okay.
They requested, all right, cool, let's see.
Okay, so Idol, what did I say that was incorrect about scripture?
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about the host. Next question.
No. You were talking about the Bible too. Why are you running? Why are you
I'm
running?
not running. You asked me a very specific question, and I kept it short and sweet and answered it. You said, "What did you say about the Bible that was wrong?" I said, "I didn't say that about you. I said that about the host."
Okay, what did I say that was wrong about the Bible?
You said that before Jesus died, he said on the cross, "My people perish for a lack of knowledge." That is incorrect. He never said that.
He didn't say that.
On the cross before he died?
Okay, maybe not on the cross before he died, but did he say that?
No.
Okay, so this is Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. Let me reverse the camera.
Would you like the coral out? It's live.
My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, because
Where is
thou
that?
hast rejected knowledge, and will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
And what book of the Bible is that in?
Hosea, give me
Which
one
is
second.
which is in what part of the Bible?
Hosea is in, I don't know if it's the Old Testament or New Testament. Give me a
It is. It's the Old Testament.
There you go. Boom. There you go.
Okay. And Jesus didn't say anything in the Old Testament.
That's not true. That's not true.
Cool. It's in there. It's in there.
Jesus did speak
Right,
in
but
the
you
Old-
and that was
Jesus
all
did
I was
speak in the
pointing.
Old
Hold on. Because
that was
when you called me up, you asked what you said that was incorrect. I just pointed it out to you.
Okay, but you said something that's incorrect. You said Jesus never spoke in the Old Testament. Yes, he did.
He did not.
Yes, he did. Do you know
If that's your
Christian
assertion, then
theology?
prove it.
No, like, do you know Christian theology? I'm gonna prove it. Within Christian theology, right? We know the Father has never been seen, neither has the Holy Spirit, right? So the figure, right, that was walking in the garden with Adam and Eve, right, was Christ. The Father has never been seen, neither has the Spirit. Whenever God has ever been seen in the Old Testament, it was Christ. It quite literally cannot be the Father because he's never been seen. The face of his Father has never ever been seen, not once in Scripture, not even in the New Testament. Only Christ has been seen.
Yeah.
No one can see
The
Father.
Bible also says that no one has ever ascended into heaven except he who had descended, which is also a lie. So just because the Bible contains contradictions doesn't mean that Jesus spoke in the Old Testament.
Okay, cool.
That's not a contradiction.
It is a contradiction.
Not a
Pretty
contradiction.
idle.
Give me
Yes.
the verse. Wait, real
Hold
quick.
on. I don't want this to be a theological conversation, all right? Because
Okay, then you can let me down.
I do lies for that, and we can do that. But yes, I was incorrect in saying that Jesus said that. Cool, great.
Right.
It is in the Bible.
So that's what
It is in
Great.
the Bible, though.
And all I did was point out that what you said was incorrect. So I'm not
What's
sure
your-
why you
Great.
brought me up to say that. But you can let me down now.
No problem. Pretty idle. Before I let you down, let me ask you something. What's your views on the prompt?
My views on the prompt are homosexuality is not in the DSM-5. So I'm not sure what you're basing your assertion on.
What's the DSM-5? Is it a bunch is it an articles or a journal a couple white people wrote that were sponsored by a bunch of Zionists or a bunch of people that wanted to push homosexual views? What's the DSM-5?
You have a computer right there on your lap. So.
You don't even know what the DSM-5. I don't care about the DSM-5. What's your views?
You asked me what my views were, and I said homosexuality is not in the DSM-5, so I don't understand where your prompt
So is that what you're going to say to God then? Miss, I know the Bible. Is that what you're going to say
God
to God?
does not exist.
Well, it's not in the DSM-5, so, like, what?
God does not exist.
Then why are you
Wait.
talking to me about the Bible then? Get out of here.
She can't prove that, by the way. She can't prove that God doesn't exist.
Yes, I know. But anyway, Joanne, I appreciate you coming up. I'm going to have someone else up, but I appreciate you coming up and sharing
Of
your
course,
views.
man. You have a good day, man. God bless.
You too.
I'm gonna follow you. All right.
I saw you smoke too scary. Okay. I saw you in the live. Tommy, let me bring you up, Tommy.
What's up, man?
Is that a real picture or is
It
that
took you a minute.
picture?
Oh no, that's my AI picture. But my face is all over my page. You can go see.
Okay, I'm not saying
just like that picture.
I'm just curious.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's a superhero comic book I'm working on. But I want to address your prompt if I may. Is your name Naya?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Naya. I think the word you're using, mental illness, or that phrase is just it doesn't really describe what I think you're trying to describe. So I'm gonna challenge it, and you tell me if I'm wrong or not. Right? Mental illness is something that is unhealthy for your body and your mind. We know people who have been healthy in body and mind that were gay, that were lesbian, that have influenced our culture, that have paved ways for men like you and me to be better men, to be better people. So I know you don't think that. I know you don't think James Baldwin was mentally ill. I know you don't think Queen Latifah is mentally ill. I know you don't think Shirley Chisholm is mentally ill. Like, these are people that, if you go back in history and look at their journey, these are people that have done more than us and paved the way for us. To label them as mentally ill, I think it's a huge misnomer. It's a big miss.
Okay, so just because someone is in the public eye, or they're a celebrity or they're famous, doesn't mean they've done things in life which are in the forefronts of TV and social media, but it doesn't mean they are theologians or we must follow their ideology or their behavior, or because they talk well we must follow their beliefs or their moral standing. So
how do you choose who you follow?
I do want to kind of talk about what you spoke about, where you talk about the kind of what I mean by mental illness. So you did say, I don't think you mean someone that has a mental illness where what they do is unhealthy to their mind or their body. I do want to say that homosexuality...
That's not what I said.
What did you say?
I said, I don't think you believe that every gay person, that every person that is homosexual is mentally ill. I think that you're trying to use that label.
You did discuss body and mind.
Right, because mentally ill means that you're unhealthy in your body and mind.
That's what I just said. So
I'll use my example. My example was James Baldwin.
Tommy, no. We're not gonna. I just said that, and I just repeated you almost verbatim. Maybe I didn't use the exact wording, but it meant the same.
That's not verbatim, then.
You said body and mind. I said that. So
right. And I gave you an example. I said, do you think?
Tommy, no. You're gonna allow. I'm gonna finish off what I was saying. Because I always use this saying when it comes to homosexuality. I always use this, all right? And I say homosexuality is unhealthy when it comes to your body, when it comes to physical health, and also when it comes to mental health. Well, what we see in the LGBTQ community is a bunch of people that have mental illnesses that always go to the doctor continuously, getting chemical pills, whatever, getting CBT, getting therapy based on their mental illness, all right? And then what you see also in the homosexual community is physical unhealthy illnesses as well. You see sexually transmitted diseases, and then you see I don't want to be too vulgar, but the act of a man going into another man is very unhealthy. Your PP is not supposed to be anywhere there. Do you know what I'm saying? Especially when you don't use a condom. It's vulgar, it's unhealthy, and that's the thing that brings forth STIs and diseases.
Okay, I was taking notes while I was listening to you, just so I can keep track of what you were saying. But the initial point that I brought up that you did not address is that people like James Baldwin, and I want you to use these examples specifically because I've researched on them and I know enough about them to speak on them. James Baldwin, Queen Latifah, perfectly healthy people who lived a whole gay life and paved ways for people like you. I'm trying to figure out how you are just labeling them instantly mentally ill when you've never even met these people. You've never even read a book, a biography about these two people. How do you just assume that they're mentally ill when you don't even know the definitions of mentally ill? Because Petty brought it up earlier. She asked the DS, I think it's the DS5, but there's 5 categories or types, an umbrella of mental illness so that you can understand it. And you're not even aware of it. You've never even been privy to that exposed to that information, but you're trying to label people who have done more than you for people like us.
You don't
mentally
necessarily
ill.
know if they've done more than me. Maybe in the public eye, they've achieved.
No, I know James Baldwin has.
They've achieved.
I know James Baldwin has. You said I don't know, but I do know.
Hold on. They've achieved stardom, but you don't know what I've done when it comes to the homeless. You don't know what it comes to what I've done.
I know you haven't written 6 books.
But no, hold on.
I know you haven't written 6 books.
You don't know if they wrote those books. You think it was them on the typewriter actually writing those books, or do you think they
I have pictures and evidence of them. Yeah, I'm personally related to James Baldwin. I know for sure. Okay. I know for sure. I have letters from James Baldwin that he wrote my uncle when he was living in Germany. I know this man. I know this man. No, he's not famous. It's not about his fame.
Because he's famous does not mean he's right.
I didn't say he's right. I said, how are you able to label someone that you have no clue about as mentally ill when mentally ill has a definition? There are any mental illnesses and there are serious mental.
Can I touch on that? Great. The reason why I can label them as mentally ill is because if you was mentally sane, you wouldn't be partaking in that sort of lifestyle that is unnatural. If you was
how do you determine? Okay, let me ask you this.
Hold on.
Let me respond to that. I heard what you said. Let me respond to what you just said.
Let me go into it. If you was
but let me get a clarifier because I heard what you said.
So Tommy, I shouldn't. This is my panel. I shouldn't have to try and over talk you. I get we're having a very passionate conversation. I respect it, but come on, let's give me some leeway. This is my panel. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's be respectful. I didn't say you can't talk, but just let me
I hear you. I'm trying to keep track of each thing that you're saying without having to respond to 4 things at a time. So I hear you. I got you. I'm going to just write it down.
Got you. So, yeah, partaking in that sort of lifestyle, which is disorder. That's why I've kind of put disorder here, because the Most High, God has already set up an order for things. Set up an order in which life comes from. To procreate, it needs an egg and it needs a sperm. It needs a man and it needs a woman. That is order. That is how things set up. So to do anything that goes against that is disorder. They are partaking in a life of disorder, which means there's something mentally going on. So they have some type of degree. Maybe it's a higher degree, maybe it's a lesser degree of mental illness.
All right. So you said 5 things. Can I address those 5 things and then we go back one by one? All right. And I'm gonna reach back into the earlier conversation because you brought up some new things before I could address those too. First, you said that anal sex is unhealthy, but especially if it's without a condom, without a prophylactic.
Yes.
I think that you thinking that a prophylactic will protect you from anything that's coming out of someone else's butt is elementary, because that's not what prophylactics do. That's not what a condom is used for, and it will not protect you from anything that's coming out of somebody's butt. It's still going to get on you, and it doesn't matter that you use a condom. Also, anal sex is not exclusive to homosexuality. People who are straight and cisgendered and married have anal sex. They have female butt plugs for that reason. They also have women that are married to men, straight people, where the women put on straps and have anal sex with men.
Okay,
I know what an STI is. Hold on. But remember, I wanted to address a few things you said, and then you can walk it back if you want. You can walk it back if you want.
Okay,
I'm trying to keep track. Go on. Then you said God determines the order, and if it's against God, what he set up in the Bible, then it's a disorder. And the opposite of order, it can be disorder. I'll say that. It can also be unorderly. Okay. That means that things can be out of succession. The way that you're describing a disorder and conflating it with mental illness, again, I think that you're using language that does not truly describe what it is that you mean. But if you do mean that God's order is the right way or the good way for us to do things and the natural way to do things, then why did he create animals that have homosexual sex? Why did he create lions having sex with other male lions having sex with other male lions? Why is he not just, if we are the dominion and we have the ability to think and make choices for our lives that are better for us, but animals don't. Animals have to live in nature. They only respond to natural things. Then why are they having gay sex? Okay, those are my two points that I just wanted to address, and then we can go back to the other ones.
I'm writing them down. So let's just and then animals. All right, no problem. So in the beginning, you discussed kind of like the health, kind of what I spoke about when it came to physical health, about not using a condom, about kind of how it can bring forth sexually transmitted diseases. So this is the Hopkins Medical Center. This is a kind of like a very valued medical center in the UK. I'm from the UK. I'm from London. Is this medical institute? Many medical institutes, including the NHS, agree with this theory. All right. So when it comes to sexually transmitted infections, men who have sex with men are at greater risk for certain sexually transmitted infections, STIs. STIs mean sexually transmitted infections. Besides abstinence, the best method to prevent STIs is to use a condom every time you have sex. These diseases include, and they go on to list a bunch of diseases: HTI, syphilis, gonorrhea, and then all these other diseases. So that clears up. Like, I shouldn't even have to be arguing this. You know that even in heterosexual relationships, there's STIs, and using a condom puts you at a lesser risk from getting these sexually transmitted diseases. So I'm just saying, in homosexual relationships, because it's very sexually promiscuous, especially in that lifestyle, it puts them at a greater risk for STDs and infections. In fact, during the 70s...
That's not what you read, Naya. That's not what you read.
What do you mean that's not what I read?
The first sentence that you read, and correct me if I'm wrong, I was listening to you, but the first sentence that you read was that men who have sex with men transmit STIs more than who? Than women.
It just says that are at greater risk for certain
men are at greater risk than who? Than who? Men are at greater risk than who? Men.
Just everyone. Everyone.
No, than women. Than women. That's the difference.
I say, Tommy, I don't know,
No, I'm saying the sentence you read. The sentence you read said men are.
I don't know where you're going with this, but that is clear and cut dry. I said what I said. There shouldn't be no further.
Read the sentence again, then, Naya. Read the sentence again, then, Naya. Read the sentence then again.
No,
read the
I'm
sentence
not
again.
going to read it again.
I know you're not, because you know what it says.
I'm not going into
You know
semantics.
what it says.
I'm not
You
going
know
into
why.
semantics with you. Rule one of this whole LGBTQ lifestyle delusion. I read it straight verbatim. All right, you did,
and I responded to it, and now you're trying to rephrase what it actually said. But the actual statistic is that men.
There's a high risk of sexually transmitted diseases, and to use a condom would be beneficial. That's
who is it more than? In the sentence, who is it more than? Men have more than who? Other men?
I'm not. Okay, I'm gonna address your second point when it comes to animals. Now,
okay, but what you're saying, you're skipping over my first point. But okay.
Tommy, I'm looking at your picture and I'm listening to your voice. You are not an animal at all. In fact, in the Bible, God uses the phrase beasts when it pertains to animals, all right? You are not an animal, Tommy. You do not live in the zoo. You do not live in the wilderness, Tommy. You are a human. You belong to the Homo sapiens who have mastered their environment, mastered their environment and their habitat. You are not slave to your habitat like an animal would. All right, so I don't know why we're going into animals. Yes, they have homosexual acts. They are animals. They are beasts of the field. They are not. Yes, some might be highly intelligent, but they will never be as highly intelligent as humans. Humans are on a different spectrum to animals. That's why we put them in captivity. That's why we can master them. That's why some animals are completely eradicated and extinct. Because as a human, we have far superior intellect and a higher level of logic when it comes to language, when it comes to spoken, written language, all forms of communication. So I don't know why you even bringing that up.
That's not true. It just shows how much you haven't done research on the animals and the. I'm gonna tell you, it just shows how much you haven't done research on the animals and the nature that you're surrounded by. Something that's older than you, older than any human, and will be here after any human, that communicates all across the world, and they communicate through the same branch format as your brain is set up in, is mycelium. The fact that you never seen that will make you think limited the way you're thinking.
Mycelium is
hold on real quick. Let me finish saying what I'm saying. Okay, so don't finish my thought. Don't finish my thought, but you're gonna respond to my thought.
Mycelium is smarter than humans. What civilization?
Sorry, I never said that, and you won't let me finish my thought, so you don't even know what to respond to.
I just said, are we mycelium?
I never said you are, but you won't let me finish my thought, so you don't know what I'm thinking. So how are you responding to what I'm saying?
Because everything else, do you know the reason why? Because everything I say, right, we're gonna rebuttal, but I can tell instantly that you are you homosexual, by the way?
No.
Are you bi?
Yeah.
Okay, which is homosexual. Listen, you are gonna be.
Thank you for letting me know. I didn't know that.
You are gonna cut.
I just learned something new today.
You are gonna stand on this hill. Oh, I want to be in my lustful practice and my lustful ideology, and anything I say, you're not gonna. You're too far in. You're deep. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying there's no hope for you, but you are.
Okay. What if Naya, you
that makes sense? You're just not. You're gonna refute, and you're not gonna agree with it. You're always gonna have a comeback for it. It's not gonna make sense.
No, that's okay. But what we can do is talk about things that do make sense, right? We don't have to agree, but we can agree. We can know that certain things are written down. Like we can be exposed to information. We don't have to agree on how we interpret it. So what I'm saying, what I was bringing up when I brought up mycelium,
Thanks for the flowers. You got me some flowers. Thanks for my flowers. Was that for you?
They gave it to me.
Oh, they gave it to you? Oh, man. Someone get me some flowers. I want some flowers.
Well, okay. So Naya, so look at this. If you're looking at nature and you say this is what's natural, how do you then get to decide what's natural for which species? Because it doesn't say that in the Bible. So how did you come upon which things you're going to say is natural for which species?
See, when I go into animals and about what's natural for species, again, my argument still remains. We're not animals. So we shouldn't be judging ourselves on an animalistic standard. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm trying to figure out, like, where'd you learn that? Because in school, we do learn that we're a part of the animal kingdom. So I'm trying to figure out where outside of school did you learn that?
This is all semantics. This is all wordplay. I get you. We are mammals and we have a similar reproductive process. I get it. But we are not animals. Do you understand? That it just
sounds like ridiculousness.
It doesn't sound ridiculous. It sounds very factual. It sounds ridiculous.
We're animals, but we're not animals.
You know what?
That doesn't sound ridiculous.
Sanity sounds crazy to a crazy person.
I'm asking you, if you write that down and show a fifth grader this sentence, we are animals, but we're not animals. Is that fifth grader going to look at you confused, or they're going to look at you and say, "Oh, that makes sense"?
Is that all I said, or is that did I say we have?
That is exactly what you said.
Did I say we have
verbatim? This is literally verbatim.
Did I say we have similar reproductive processes of animals, but we're not animals?
No one's disagreeing with that. But the only part that I'm disagreeing with is the last sentence you said. We are animals, but we're not.
Selective hearing here, and you're only listening to what you want to listen to.
No, I heard you say that, and I didn't disagree with we're mammals and that we have similar reproductive systems. I don't disagree with that. The part that I disagreed with is what I brought up, and you want to stand 10 toes down on that statement, but that statement is very pebble brain. Like, we are animals.
Okay, so
and if you don't agree with that, that's on you to whether you want to agree with evidence, but that's what I'm trying to use to. I hear you. What's up, Naya? Naya?
We can cut the bullshit, all right? What it is it goes back to lust. You just want to be in your lustful desire, be with your boyfriend or be with your girl, whatever you want to do, days of the week, you know, you want to have the ability to go into your lustful desires when it comes to being with men. I don't advocate it, but we have free will. You go do what you do, but that lifestyle isn't gonna bring you happiness. It's gonna if it's what you enjoy, it's gonna give you temporary happiness and temporary joy, but it's not a fulfilling, healthy life. Here, I know you want to do another question, but it's just like we're just gonna be talking in circles. We're gonna be going around and around and around and around. You believe what you want to believe, and I know you are firm in what you want to believe, but hey, look, listen, I told you what I told you. Go away and do what you want with it. Alright, so you've been waiting a long while. Papa P, thank you for what. Let's see if he comes up. Maybe he might be in another live. Yeah, maybe. Let me bring you up. Wow. Brody, what's going on?
What's up?
Have we spoke before, Brody?
No, but I've been in like no. It was yesterday. I was in the queue and stuff.
Okay, sorry I didn't get to you, but I got you today, Brody.
That's okay, yeah. Okay. So, I do want to clear the air a bit. If my voice throws it off, I am a man. I'm a gay man. And I'm not transgender before anyone asks. Because I've gotten that so many times. Just wanted to get that out of the way. And I did.
So you're a man that dresses like a man, but
yes.
Are you effeminate?
In like the way I behave, yes. But if you looked at me with no context, like I don't think I look feminine. But
do you dress feminine? Do you choose feminine clothing?
Okay, No.
Rule 1 to
Wait, no. I don't.
is delusion. Second rule is lies, and then the third rule is I can't even remember what the third rule is. I need to write. The more I do this lies, the more I want to put together like some type of thesis. All right, and my methodology would be kind of like coming away from so much biblical principles, because I know I would use some in there, but a lot of people don't react or there would be some sort of kind of other process before I hit you with biblical principles, because a lot of conversion therapy today is just Bible, and it just to someone that is maybe not in that Christian lifestyle, or kind of they might be just a little bit in that Christian lifestyle, and they're not gonna digest it well. All right.
Yeah.
So what my conversion therapy would be is a neo conversion therapy, and the word neo is a Greek word meaning for new. It's a new type of conversion therapy. So just like, for instance, someone that is addicted to alcohol, they could go on retreats, they could go on rehabilitation centers, and it's a safe space. Maybe I want to do it in the Mediterranean, like a nice Mediterranean / Caribbean facility where we teach kind of like about who we are, about our goals, about what we kind of just want to achieve.